Boutique film and television production company MSR Media began shooting scenes in Nevis for what will be the fourth movie it will produce in St. Kitts and Nevis. The movie, Christmas in the Caribbean, stars Elizabeth Hurley. Written by MSR Media's Philippe Martinez and Natalie Cox, the film will follow Rachel, played by Hurley, a hopeless romantic whose intended flees on her wedding day. Not to let her Christmas in the Caribbean honeymoon go to waste, Rachel and her two bridesmaids jet off to the islands where unexpected romance awaits, love blossoms, and she has to make a life choice. The film is produced by Martinez, who will also direct, and Highfield Grange Studios' Alan Latham.
And it's film number 4 for MSR Media in Nevis and St. Kitts. And so we're thrilled, Mark, for you hosting us as always. And it's a pleasure to have my dear Carol and Quentin here finally.
Thank you so much for having me here.
You're welcome.
Adar Katz, who's a lovely actress from Italy and London. Eduardo Costa, my dear friend, who's an Italian bellissimo seducer. I should have never told him to come.
Yes.
Natalie Cox, which has done already one movie here.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's nice to be back.
And of course, my dear friend Elizabeth Hurley, which I'm so grateful that she's doing this wonderful Christmas romantic comedy here.
Yes, I'd like to say how much I love Nevis and how we've been very welcomed by everybody, particularly Mark. You've been very kind to us as a film company, and it's an absolute pleasure to be here, and I hope we keep coming back.
The cast of Christmas in the Caribbean also includes Caroline Quentin, Natalie Cox, Eduardo Costa, and Hadar Katz.
It's only for me to welcome all of you to the island and to say thank you. This journey with MSR started several months ago, and as Philippa said, we are now on our 4th movie. And this one I think is more expansive because it also of course has some filming on our sister island of St. Kitts. We like to say we're 2 islands, 1 paradise. So we offer 2 islands to you, and we pray that you enjoy it while you're here. I see all smiles. I hope those are not just for the camera, but that you're enjoying yourselves here. Natalie, welcome back. They say in Nevis you're only a stranger once, so I ought to say welcome home. I'm happy to have you back home. And
Nice
Philippe, thank you for all that you're doing. Miss Hurley, thank you very much for being here. My Italian friend, thank you for being here. It's so good to have you. I hope that you cook some Italian food for us one day.
For sure.
You know?
Of course,
And
of course. Why
certainly I
not?
would like to welcome you both as well.
Thank
Caroline,
you so much.
Christmas in the Caribbean.
Christmas
Yeah.
in the Caribbean.
Happy Christmas, everybody.
Premier of Nevis, the Honourable Mark Brantley, visited the movie set at the Gin Trap on Monday, November 1st. On Friday, October 29th, 5 households on Nevis were the recipients of new elegant mailboxes. The gift was a donation from the Nevis Postal Service as part of its celebration of World Post Day, which is observed annually on October 9th.
And we are trying to move away from the tradition of our postmen walking onto the residents' property. Change at times are difficult to adapt, but in a changing world, we have to make changes and adjustments. The time has come for the change in the delivery of our mails. So to encourage our residents, it was decided by the World Post Day Committee that during our activities, we lead by example and present a few boxes to selected residents. It was the duty of the postmen to decide among themselves who the recipients are in the 5 parishes. So we're going to start with St. Paul's. This goes to Miss Georgette Martin. Okay. In the area of St. Thomas's, Mr. Carney and Miss Rose Sargent. In the St. James's area, we call Ross Iroy. In the St. George's area, we have Yvette Kelly. In the St. John's area, we have Estelle Lewis, and here today is her daughter representing her, Miss Yolanda Lewis Errol.
At Friday's ceremony, the Nevis Postal Service also awarded a primary school student with a lunch sponsorship.
Every year, during our World Post Day celebrations, a primary school student from one of the schools on the island is presented with the World Post Day Lunch Scholarship. The names of the primary schools are placed in a drawer, and on World Post Day, a customer is randomly asked to pull the name of a school from the draw box. The school is then asked to select a student, the principal to be exact, to be awarded based on the criteria set by the World Post Day Committee. And our recipient today is Mr. Javion Bramble for the Ivor Walters Primary School. Part of his award, Mr. Javion's award, is a money order. And what you're going to do with that money order, you're going to come to the post office and redeem the funds. So you'll have an idea what the money order service is all about. Okay, so congratulations to you, Mr. Javion Bramble, and thanks to the parents, Ms. Bramble, for being here with him today.
In related news, the Honorable Spencer Brand recently reiterated the importance of the Postal Service. Mr. Brand was at the time delivering remarks as Minister of Posts at the October 29th Nevis Postal Service Awards ceremony.
The Post Office will continue to be, quote-unquote, a servant of the people. The level of service that you provide, sometimes you may not recognize how important it is. But think about something like medication that comes from overseas that the Post Office often helps to process. Checks and remittances, those are lifelines for many persons. It may not be something that you think about seriously or oftentimes, but you are a lifeline to many persons. I can assure you this morning that as the Minister with responsibility for posts and the Cabinet which I am a part of, we will continue to give our support to our Postal Service and to the staff of the Postal Service.
The awards ceremony was one of a series of activities the Nevis Postal Service is hosting in a celebration of World Post Day under the theme Innovate to Recover.
2021 was undoubtedly a challenging year, as was 2020. In 2021, we also seek to introduce new technologies and new ways of operation at our post office by streamlining the operations and by ensuring that we continue to meet the needs of the general public. I want to suggest to you that as you innovate, please do not be afraid of change and changes, because that is what we have seen in the last 12 months, in the last 18 months, in the last 24 months. We have gone through rapid and radical changes globally. So I don't want you to be afraid of the use of technology. So I want to say to you to embrace the technology and also to embrace the change. Going forward, the general public will continue to make heavy demands on our postal services, as they would have done in the years gone by. And I want you to embrace the changes that the general public is demanding of the Postal Service. It is going to be different, it is going to be dynamic, and you would have to play an integral role in those changes.
The purpose of World Post Day is to create awareness of the role of the postal sector in the everyday lives of people and businesses and its contribution to the social and economic development of countries. The Department of Labor hosted a farewell ceremony for retired Chief Labor Officer Gary Liburd at the Nevis Performing Arts Center, NEPAC, on Thursday, October 28, 2021. Office Manager Juliet O'Loughlin spoke briefly about Liburd, and herself and Labour Officer Ishan Todman presented him with gifts from the entire staff.
We were always told by Mr. Liburd Try not to throw bad news directly into a person's face. He explained that they reached out to us for us to help. He will stoop low, look me in the eyes, and he will say, you have to soften the blow. He will say, we are here to give hope. All people need in their times of distress is for someone to listen and to give them hope, even if they know it is impossible. Sometimes they just want to be heard or to vent. So yes, we operate a psychology unit as well. Mr. Liebert has psychological expertise. The department takes this opportunity to publicly express our gratitude to Mr. Liebert for years of hard work and the impact he has made on our lives. We pray that God's blessings be upon him as he embarks on this new chapter of his life, and that he continues his journey as branch manager of the Social Security Office here in Nevis, with the same passion and inspiration with which he has executed the duties of the previous positions that he once held.
Minister of Labour on Nevis, the Honourable Spencer Brand, in expressing his gratitude to Liebert for his years of dedicated service, spoke fondly of someone he considered a close friend.
I want to say thanks to you, Gary, on behalf of the Cabinet and certainly on behalf of the people of Nevis for the dedicated service that you have rendered to the people of Nevis over the years. I believe that your commitment have shown that you are a man of serious mettle. You have faced many challenges over the years when Nevis were at a time backs was against the wall. And because of your demeanor and because of your calmness and because of your forthrightness, you was able to pull the country out of some very difficult and turbulent times. For me personally, I'm going to miss you in that troublesome room. Because oftentimes when others may let certain things slide, you often have that quick-witted response and spirit to what is being discussed. But I want to wish you all the best, Gary. You are a personal friend, and I think that Nevis would do well with you at Social Security.
Upon accepting gifts and awards, Liebert briefly expressed his gratitude to the entire staff.
To the hard-working staff, my Labour family, I told you over and over that this is not necessary. I spoke to Dr. Stapleton also. This is not necessary. I told Chief, all of this is not necessary, but after seeing all of this and realizing the impact and how your work is being appreciated, it does feel good, and I thank you guys for this. So everybody who put this together and made all of this possible, thank you very much.
Liebert became Chief Labour Officer in the year 2006 and held that post up until earlier this year. The Ministry of Human Resources in the Nevis Island Administration is informing of scholarship opportunities offered by the Organization of American States, OAS, in collaboration with the Anna G. Mendez University. The programs offered are Master of Education with a specialty in teaching English as a second language, Master of Business Administration with a specialty in Management, Master of Business Administration with a specialty in Finance, Master of Arts with a specialty in Forensic Science, Master of Science in Nursing with a specialty in Advanced Family Practice, and Master of Public Affairs with a specialty in Criminal Justice. For information on these and other programs, application and scholarship process, course duration, eligibility, scholarship selection criteria and process, visit www.oas.org/scholarships. Applicants are required to register online via the university's website, annamendez.net. Applications should be sent to the Ministry of Human Resources by Wednesday, November 22nd, 2021 for onward processing. Should you have any questions or concerns, send an email to scholarships@oas.org.